Yo, Fifth. First off, I want to say happy birthday.
Eminem to me is what Dr. Dre is to Eminem.
Yeah.
So to disrespect him in any way is just you out of pocket.
Welcome back to Fame Flux, where the truth behind fame gets exposed. 50 Cent and Eminem aren't just collaborators. They're known for forming one of hip-hop's most relentless duos.
Last question. I hate to stir it up, but Afrojack has been talking you. Anything you want to say? Who? Afrojack? Who? That's what I thought. Thank you.
Both have built reputations for delivering brutal takedowns, whether solo or teamed up. Their feud history reads like a greatest hits compilation of rap warfare. From completely dismantling Ja Rule's career, forcing him to publicly concede defeat, to making Benzino break down over his conflict with Eminem, their track record is legendary. They thrive in controversy and often use lyrical warfare as their battleground. Let's take a closer look at the rappers who've ended up on the receiving end of their wrath.
I understand in October you did something to get back at Ja Rule.
Yeah.
And please tell the people what you did, because this is quite
I bought like the first 4 rows in his concert. How much are the tickets? $15. I said, okay, give me the first 4 rows.
How many seats is that? It's got to be like 200 seats.
Starting with Ja Rule. The conflict with him goes way back, rooted in an incident involving 50 Cent's associate Troy, who reportedly robbed J. Rule. Things escalated later when they crossed paths in a club. 50 Cent attempted to resolve the tension, but Ja Rule believed he was involved in the robbery, and the situation only worsened from there. The origins of the beef between 50 Cent and Murder Inc. have different versions. One side claims 50 Cent felt disrespected during the video shoot for his song, Murder for Life. According to reports, he was snubbed by Murder Inc., which allegedly triggered the entire conflict.
I got nothing against somebody that can rap, but I care about us more. I don't want to go through, I don't want to talk about it no more. I don't want, for 22 years, every time I do an interview, they ask me about Eminem.
Regardless of how it began, 50 Cent didn't wait long to respond. In 1999, he dropped the diss track Life's on the Line, taking aim directly at Ja Rule and Murder Inc. At the same time, Ja Rule was climbing the charts. His debut album, Veni Veti Veci, sold millions, placing him at the top of the rap game. Things took a turn in 2000 when both artists were booked to perform at the same nightclub in Atlanta. A heated exchange erupted, escalating into a physical altercation. That moment intensified everything. Later that year, matters grew darker. While 50 Cent was recording at the Hit Factory in New York, J. Rule and his crew allegedly confronted him. Reports say Ja Rule got word of 50's location and showed up. The confrontation ended violently.
I'm deciding to life up. Well, I'm a life up.
When 50 Cent was stabbed by Murder Inc. and affiliate Black Child, marking one of the most dangerous points in their feud. That incident solidified the feud permanently. From 1999 to 2002, tension between 50 Cent and J. Rule continued to escalate. Then, in 2002, 50 Cent released Wanksta. The track was rumored to be aimed at Ja Rule, and regardless of its intended target, it became a breakout hit, climbing to number 13 on the Billboard charts. At that point, Murder Inc. recognized the threat. Irv Gotti, a major figure at the label, publicly accused 50 Cent of filing an order of protection against him and Ja Rule.
A friend of mine's robbed Ja Rule. And I'm in a club, and I see like, hey, what's up?
However, 50 Cent denied the claim. It was later confirmed that the order had been filed by police on his behalf, not at his request. Despite the rumor, his credibility remained intact, but the situation quickly worsened. After 50 Cent was shot, he disappeared from the spotlight. During that period, Ja Rule and Murder Inc. dominated the airwaves. 50 Cent was unofficially blacklisted, with industry support drying up. Many assumed he was finished. Ja Rule believed the threat had passed. When 50 Cent's early comeback mixtape didn't gain traction, Murder Inc. didn't take it seriously. But what no one expected was who would end up hearing it. In 2002, 50 Cent's lawyers sent a copy of his mixtape, Guess Who's Back, to Eminem's manager, Paul Rosenberg. When Eminem heard the mixtape, he was immediately impressed. Without delay, he flew 50 Cent to Los Angeles to meet with him and Dr. Director. That meeting changed the course of 50's career. He signed a $1 million deal with Shady Records and Interscope, officially joining forces with two of the biggest powerhouses in hip-hop. This partnership elevated 50 Cent from an underground rapper to a mainstream contender, backed by industry giants. Ja Rule, however, saw Eminem's move as a betrayal, and that's when tensions escalated to new heights. Ja Rule made a critical misstep. He mentioned Eminem's daughter in a diss. That was a boundary few dared to cross. Eminem responded swiftly with the track Haley's Revenge, publicly addressing the insult and including a conversation with his daughter on the song. But it didn't end there. Eminem and 50 Cent released another track, Hail Mary, directly targeting Ja Rule. They accused him of trying to emulate Tupac and dismissed his efforts, implying he could never match Tupac's legacy. By 2004, Eminem announced through the song Like Toy Soldiers that he was stepping away from the feud, expressing exhaustion from the ongoing conflict. However, that didn't mean the tension with Ja Rule had completely disappeared. Eminem stopped playing it safe and responded with intensity. He launched a barrage of diss tracks like Invasion, The Sauce, and the infamous Nail in the Coffin. In each, he tore into Benzino's rap skills, mocked his age, exposed a fabricated tough image, and criticized his questionable business dealings. Benzino fired back with tracks like Die Another Day and a parody titled Better Lose Yourself. But things turned darker when Benzino crossed a major line, threatening both Eminem and his daughter.
He see me kicking it with of them, and he feel like, oh, and speak to this dude because I know the kid robbed him, but I know this kid, I grew up with him.
That move backfired immediately. The hip-hop community began distancing itself from Benzino. Major radio stations stopped playing his records, and fans publicly turned on him. His career started to unravel. Still, instead of pulling back, he escalated further. With his music no longer making an impact, Benzino began weaponizing the Source magazine, which he co-owned. He pushed negative coverage and smear campaigns aimed directly at Eminem in an effort to damage his image. Eminem countered with another diss, Go to Sleep, which also took aim at Ja Rule. To make matters worse for Benzino, Eminem landed a major feature on the cover of XXL magazine, the primary rival of The Source, cementing his dominance in the media space. That ignited a full-scale war between the two magazines. Benzino fired back with more diss tracks like Falling Down, targeting both Eminem and 50 Cent. With Ja Rule already in conflict with 50, Benzino joined forces with him, and together they dropped tracks like Untouchable, aimed squarely at Shady Records.
We had a party at Amazura in Queens, and 50 knows Black Child, he knows Caddy, was invited to come. 50 comes in the back, says what's up again, and I guess he didn't get enough conversation from Rule. Rule just said what's up and kept moving, and I think he wanted to talk to him some more than he did or whatever, and was probably a little pissed off or something. And then that's shortly after that is when he started doing little mixtapes or underground records.
In 2003, Benzino believed he had the ultimate weapon. He unearthed an old Eminem track titled Foolish Pride, where Eminem had used racial slurs. Benzino leaked the song on the Source website and even published the lyrics in print, expecting a massive backlash. But Eminem immediately addressed the issue. He took full responsibility, issued a public apology, and many fans accepted it. By that point, Eminem had already secured his place at the top, and the attempt to derail him fell flat. Years later, Benzino publicly apologized, but the beef didn't end there. Eminem continued to reference him in lyrics, even aiming at Benzino's daughter Coi Leray in more recent tracks. Eventually, the pressure wore Benzino down. He appeared on Drink Champs visibly emotional, reflecting on how the feud had haunted him for over 2 decades. He admitted the drama had affected his family, claiming it put a strain on his relationship with his daughter. who may have felt caught in the middle of the conflict. But Benzino wasn't the only rapper who took heavy damage. Another target was the game. In August 2023, Eminem and Escalate released a fiery track titled Ruthless. While it served as a major debut for Escalate, Eminem quickly stole the spotlight, aiming direct shots at the game. One of the most biting lines from Eminem's verse declared, "All the envious rappers I'd torch if I'm on a joint with them, and their only retort is, I'm not played in the clubs, put a cork in it. Only reason they still play your clubs is 'cause you still perform in them." That was a pointed response to the game's earlier diss in his 10-minute track, The Black Slim Shady, where he mocked Eminem for not getting club play. But this feud actually predates that diss entirely. It all began with 50 Cent and G-Unit. When the game was still an emerging artist, Dr. Dre signed him and made the strategic decision to place him in G-Unit, the rap group led by 50 Cent. Some viewed this as a smart move to elevate the game's exposure, while others saw it as him benefiting from 50's fame. Either way, his G-Unit affiliation positioned him alongside top-tier names like 50 Cent and Eminem.
I don't believe you murder. I believe you murder.
Then, in 2005, the game released his debut album, The Documentary. The project was an immediate success, powered by tracks like How We Do and Hate It or Love It, proving the game had the talent and presence to stand on his own. While the game's career was on the rise, tensions with 50 Cent were building rapidly. One early sign came during the Hate It or Love It video shoot, where reports claimed 50 refused to sit next to the game in the car, fueling speculation that things weren't smooth behind the scenes. The major turning point came when 50 was locked in public feuds with Nas, Fat Joe, and Jadakiss. He expected full support from the game, but the game made it clear he had no issue with any of them. 50 saw this as a serious betrayal. That same day, 50 appeared on Power 105.1 with Ed Lover and officially removed the game from G-Unit live on air. Shortly after, he headed to Hot 97 with Funkmaster Flex to voice more frustrations. Meanwhile, the game was still in New York. Once he heard what was said, he gathered a group and stormed Hot 97. The confrontation escalated fast, leading to a shootout between both entourages. Amid the chaos, one member of the game's crew was shot in the leg. While the conflict escalated, 50 Cent quietly exited through the back of Hot 97. Days later, in a surprising twist, 50 Cent and the game appeared together, smiling, shaking hands, and even donating to the Boys Choir of Harlem. They claimed the feud had ended, but it didn't take long for things to fall apart. By Summer Jam 2005, the game reignited the beef, dissing 50 Cent and G-Unit on stage. At one point, he dramatically threw his G-Unit chain into the crowd, making it clear he was done with them. From there, the diss tracks flew in every direction. But as his issues with 50 intensified, a separate feud was quietly forming. In 2022, the game dropped The Black Slim Shady, a 10-minute diss track aimed directly at Eminem. He didn't hold back, taking shots not only at Eminem, but also at 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, and even Eminem's daughter. Some praised the move as fearless, calling the game one of the few to take on Eminem directly. Others called it corny and desperate, suggesting it was more about clout than bars. Many believed that what really sparked the game's anger was the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show.
Let me let these I ain't got to spit these clowns, these chumps.
The game was noticeably absent from the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show. Despite his ties to Dr. Dre and major contributions to West Coast rap, he wasn't included in the performance. Later, he admitted the snub stung. During an episode of I Am Athlete, he explained that he felt excluded because industry figures viewed him as too risky to involve in such a high-profile event. Then in March 2022, the game appeared on Drink Champs, where he made some bold statements. He claimed Kanye West had done more for his career than Dr. Dre ever had. He also declared he was a better rapper than Eminem, and even challenged him to a versus battle. But Eminem didn't respond at all. The silence sparked even more discussion, with some saying the game was lucky Eminem chose not to engage. But this pattern wasn't new, because Eminem and 50 Cent weren't just known for going at rappers. They even clashed with dangerous figures, including Suge Knight. That feud stemmed from Dr. Dre's exit from Death Row Records. When Dre signed Eminem and later brought in 50 Cent, the tension with Suge only grew. As Eminem and 50 gained power, they also inherited Dre's unresolved beef with Suge. And Suge, being who he was, wasn't about to let that slide without a response. Suge Knight didn't hold back when it came to challenging 50 Cent and Eminem. One infamous moment came during the filming of the In Da Club music video. Out of nowhere, someone shouted, "Suge Knight is here!" Instantly, the entire set descended into chaos. Suge had rolled up with around 30 men, reportedly members of a Mexican gang. It was textbook Suge, showing up deep, unannounced, using intimidation as a power move to unsettle the environment and flex his lingering influence in the industry. Eminem was also on set that day, and despite the tension, neither he nor 50 Cent backed down. The situation was intense, but they held their ground. Then, there's the 2001 Source Awards, another high-stakes encounter. Eminem was there performing with D12, and the atmosphere was already on edge. Typically, artists had their security close, but that night, the event organizers enforced a rule requiring bodyguards to sit away from performers. That left Eminem exposed. Suge Knight and his crew reportedly noticed the opportunity and didn't waste time making their presence known. The moment could have turned dangerous fast, but Eminem and his team navigated the situation without it escalating further. Eminem mostly stayed silent when it came to Suge Knight. In his 2004 track Like Toy Soldiers, he explained the reason. Dr. Dre had personally urged him to stay out of that conflict. Even though Eminem likely had more to say, he chose to play it smart. But fast forward to early 2025, and a long-lost, unreleased Eminem diss track from the mid-2000s suddenly leaked, and it shook the entire hip-hop world. The track, titled Smack You, was so raw and ruthless that fans immediately began speculating what might have happened had it dropped back then. Some believe it would have put Eminem in real danger, while others are calling it one of the most aggressive diss records ever created. In the song, Eminem first targets Ja Rule, mocking his height and taking jabs at his parenting. But then, the diss takes a darker turn as Eminem sets his sights on Suge Knight, accusing him of being behind the deaths of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls. The fact that Eminem recorded a track that directly confronted one of the most feared figures in hip-hop history shows what many have said for years. Eminem never backed down from confrontation, no matter the cost. Let us know in the comments, would releasing Smack You have changed everything? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the next deep dive into hip-hop's most explosive stories.